Hello, this is Claudia Fala, Testing and Training Specialist, and this is Looking Forward to the Year Ahead, Part 2 of the Continuing Education Program, An Interpreter's New Year's Resolution. Before viewing this portion of the program, you should first view Part 1, A Look at the Year Past, and complete the Interpreter Self-Evaluation Survey by visiting www.surveymonkey.com/s/interpreter self-assessment. During the assessment, we answered questions about our confidence in our ability to manage our ethical and professional responsibilities, use each of the 4 modes of interpreting, guide the encounter, implement each of the interpreting techniques, identify with our clients' cultural perspectives, understand technical concepts and interpret specialized terminology, utilize memory skills and note-taking techniques, and participate in an effective self-care regimen. So now that we have taken the interpreter self-assessment, let's reflect on the results. Questions to which you responded strongly agree or agree are areas in which you already excel. Questions to which you responded somewhat agree, disagree, or strongly disagree are areas on which you should focus your professional development and continuing education efforts in the coming year. As we all know, striving to improve as a professional is not just an admirable resolution, but an ethical responsibility as well. As stated in the Code of Ethics, interpreters must engage in professional development activities and continuing education designed to maintain and increase their professional knowledge, skills, and abilities. There are a variety of activities that support interpreters' professional development. Interpreters may engage in their own self-directed practice activities and courses of study, participate in continuing education programs, workshops, and webinars, and attend interpreter meetings and conferences. These professional development activities can help interpreters to improve their interpreting skills and techniques, expand their technical vocabulary and linguistic fluency, increase cultural competency, and augment their knowledge of the concepts and protocols which relate to the various encounter settings in which they work. If you would like to improve your transmitting skills when interpreting in the consecutive, sight translation, and simultaneous modes, engaging in practice activities, recording your performance, and then evaluating that performance is an effective way to improve your execution on the job. Most smartphones, computers, laptops, and tablets come pre-equipped with voice recording capabilities. Handheld digital voice recorders can also be purchased from office supply stores for a reasonable price. First, you should select a script to. If an actual script is not available, you may use any written document as a script. When practicing the consecutive or simultaneous modes, you should find a partner to read the script aloud while you interpret. When practicing the sight translation mode, you can work alone. You should record yourself while interpreting the script. When finished, listen to the recording while reading along with the script. Mark any errors that you made in the interpretation directly on the script. Using the Performance Evaluation Criteria document, assess your performance for accuracy and completeness. Then, record your findings on the Performance Self-Evaluation Form. The Performance Self-Evaluation Forms can then be collected and referred back to in order to identify patterns, focus on problem areas, and measure progress. The Performance Evaluation Criteria and Performance Self-Evaluation Form can be downloaded by clicking the link on the page. If you would like to increase your knowledge of medical concepts, visit the World Health Organization, National Institute of Health National Library of Medicine, or Virginia Department of Health websites and do research. Creating a bilingual glossary by translating lists of technical and specialized terms is a good way to expand your professional vocabulary. The National Institute of Mental Health and the American Psychological Association website offer reputable sources of behavioral health information. And the U.S. Department of Education, Virginia Department of Education, National Center for Learning Disabilities, and the National Education Association website offer information about the concepts, terminology, and protocols relevant to interpreting in educational settings. There are also a number of valuable cultural competency resources which you can use to improve your understanding of culture. Visit thinkculturalhealth.hhs.gov to read about the Department of Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health, enhanced national standards for culturally and linguistically appropriate services in health and health care. These standards are designed to advance health equity, improve quality care, and eliminate healthcare disparities. The National Center for Cultural Competency at Georgetown University offers online cultural sensitivity self-assessments and cultural competency webinars, which are designed to improve participants' understanding of their own culturally influenced attitudes and behaviors, as well as to increase participants' cultural sensitivity towards members of other cultural groups. Due to our proximity to the nation's capital, you also have the opportunity to participate in unique cultural festivals and events, including the annual Smithsonian Folklife Festival on the National Mall and Passport DC's annual tour of over 40 embassies in May. A study called The Errors of Medical Interpretation and Their Potential Clinical Consequences, published in the Annals of Emergency Medicine in November 2012, indicated that medical interpreters who engage in more than 100 hours of professional training were significantly less likely to commit errors of potential clinical consequence than interpreters with less than 100 hours of professional training. During this study, interpreting encounters which took place in the emergency department of a teaching hospital were recorded, transcribed, and checked for accuracy. The study found that interpreters with less than 100 hours of training had an average clinically significant error rate of 12%, whereas interpreters with more than 100 hours of training had an average clinically significant error rate of only 2%. According to Glenn Flores, one of the study's authors, the findings suggest that requiring at least 100 hours of professional training may have a major impact on reducing interpreter errors and their consequences in healthcare, while improving quality and patient safety. So how much professional training have you had? If we are to believe the findings of the study, Errors of Medical Interpretation and Their Potential Clinical Consequences, the 40-hour Interpreting in Health and Community Settings training program that you completed prior to joining the Northern Virginia AHEC Interpreter Corps was in itself not enough. Luckily, you work for an organization that is highly invested in your professional development and success. Unlike most language service agencies, Northern Virginia AHEC provides its contract interpreters with a multitude of continuing education opportunities free of charge. Participating in these CE activities will allow you to obtain the recommended 100 hours of professional training and beyond. One of the most unique and valuable CE opportunities afforded to you as a Northern Virginia AHEC interpreter is the 8-hour Interpreting in Health and Community Settings refresher course. The refresher is designed to help participants maintain, develop, and improve their interpreting knowledge and skills, as well as to provide a forum for participants to discuss professional challenges and receive feedback from instructors and peers. In addition to the IHCS refresher course, Northern Virginia AHEC is constantly developing continuing education programs in response to the specific challenges our interpreters report facing in the field. These CE programs are presented in a variety of modalities in order to reach as many of our interpreters as possible. These programs include on-site workshops, online courses, and live webinar broadcasts. Among the continuing education topics which we have recently addressed are interpreting in behavioral health settings, interpreting in physical therapy settings, diabetes education, ethical decision-making, upholding professional boundaries, and assertiveness skills for managing the interpreting encounter. The quarterly interpreting meetings represent another outstanding opportunity to engage in additional training hours. Each interpreter meeting features a continuing education workshop which focuses on one important aspect of medical or community interpreting. In addition, the educational workshops, Northern Virginia AHEC Interpreters Meetings provide informal professional development opportunities to network with your fellow interpreters, learn about developments in the field, and exchange professional insight. Finally, each edition of the bi-monthly Northern Virginia AHEC Interpreter e-newsletter features a continuing education podcast like the one you're viewing now. Please visit the Northern Virginia AHEC website at www.nvahec.org for more information about the upcoming continuing education opportunities we will be offering free of charge to Northern Virginia AHEC interpreters. You can identify additional continuing education opportunities by visiting the International Medical Interpreters Association online training directory, or by visiting the Certification Commission for Healthcare Interpreters Continuing Education Accreditation Program webpage for a list of accredited continuing education providers. Northern Virginia Community College also offers a variety of online courses in anatomy and physiology, medical terminology, and intercultural communication. In addition to our more formalized continuing education programs, Northern Virginia AHEC offers a variety of professional development activities which are designed to facilitate your professional progress as well. These activities include the quarterly interpreter meetings, the bi-monthly interpreter newsletter, and the Facebook Interpreter and Translation Discussion Forum. Every 2 months, Northern Virginia AHEC interpreters receive our e-newsletter via email. Each issue of the Northern Virginia AHEC bi-monthly e-newsletter features a lead story, continuing education podcast, Meet the Interpreter interview, announcements, question and answer section, and more, all which focus on a specific theme. Past themes include interpreting in school settings, interpreting in behavioral health settings, and changes in the field of health and community interpreting. The NVAHEC Closed Facebook Interpreter and Translator Group provides a forum for interpreters and translators to engage in an ongoing discussion of current events and issues relevant to the field. If you have not yet joined the Northern Virginia AHEC Facebook group, please contact Julia Willis at jwills@nvahec.org to request an invitation. In addition to Northern Virginia AHEC interpreter meetings and Facebook group, joining professional associations such as the Virginia Medical Interpreting Collaborative, the International Medical Interpreters Association, or the American Translators Association Interpreter Division offer additional opportunities for professional networking and collaboration. In conclusion, interpreters have an ethical responsibility to participate in continuing education and professional development activities. Northern Virginia AHEC offers a variety of continuing education and professional development activities to our interpreters free of charge. For information about upcoming opportunities, please visit our website at www.nvahec.org. If you have any questions about this presentation or about continuing education and professional development opportunities, please send me an email at cfala@nvahec.org. Thank you for participating in this continuing education presentation